Oh, we're up and running. Hello, how are we all doing? Hope you're all good. It seems like ages since I have been talking to all of you lot. I really hope you're doing well and you're all enjoying this topsy-turvy weather. Now, obviously, as some of you will probably know, here's Rianne to join me. Say hello then.
Hi guys.
Now, those who know what's been going on just recently, I haven't really been doing any investigations because I've had problems with our eldest daughter, but hopefully, fingers crossed now, that's getting sorted and she's on the road to recovery and the mend. So yeah, what have we been up to? Well, I have got a few videos lined up and they are scheduled to go out every Saturday, and I've got videos now near on to the end of July. What?
To the end of July.
Oh, to the end of the July. That's what Richard's told me. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed my video last night at Cannock Chase. Now, for those who are not familiar with Cannock Chase, it is a allegedly haunted. What do they call it? Do they call it a forest or a wood?
I think they call it a forest or
Is it a forest?
Managed by the Forestry Commission.
Oh, it's managed by the Forestry Commission. So yeah, it would be a forest. I just hope people are. Is this going live? It should be.
Ray.
It's all right. She just wants to join in because you've been all right, haven't you?
says the
Oh yeah, okay. Well, I haven't got my glasses on. Maybe if I put my glasses on, maybe that would help. There we go. So, like I was saying, with Cannock Chase, it's a massive place. It really, really is big. And in my opinion, is it haunted? It's an open book on that one. I wouldn't say yes, it is, or no, it isn't. I'd rather throw it out there. And if you get the opportunity to go there and have a walk around, I mean, it is massive. And when I mean massive, it is freaking huge. So I was probably in the wrong place or the wrong area. I don't know. But apparently there's been sightings of black-eyed children, of a pig man, a wolf man, a zombie miner, and a demon dog. Now, I don't honestly know about Cannock Chase because everybody says it's, especially with the black-eyed children, that they will appear in one certain place. Now, because it's a big, massive forest, you know, they can't, unless they are grounded there, then they can roam around wherever they want to. And like I said, it's huge. There's been so many YouTube videos and so much on Google about it. So if you want to go and check out Cannock Chase, you know, go ahead, see what you think of it and see what you make, and is it haunted or not. Personally, this is just me, I'm not vouching for anybody else, but personally I would say it's just legend, it's just folklore. It's like series that have been passed down generations. I can understand why people would say it's haunted because it really, really is creepy at night. I mean, I wouldn't want to be walking through there at night. But there's so many people that cycle, that walk, that dog walk. You know, someone somewhere along the line to this present day must have seen something. So
It's 26 square miles.
it's 26 square meter miles.
That's 26 squared miles.
26 squared miles. So that's pretty big then. Pretty big. So that was Cannock Chase. Now, I have, like I said, I've been out with Sally as well. Me and Sally have been doing a few investigations, and we did one yesterday because I needed to get out the house and I just having withdrawal symptoms. So we went to a place called Berkswell, to St. John the Baptist Church. Now, that church is definitely haunted. Absolutely 100%, because we didn't hear it at the time because me and Sally obviously were doing the investigation there. But coming back and Richard editing it, the voices and noises we captured were absolutely mind blowing. That church we went to has also got a crypt underneath it. Now, when I say crypt, I don't mean one that's full of bodies. There is bodies buried down there, and you can't help but walk on them when you go down there. But it's just a very dark, not nice place. Now, while me and Sally were down there, we were setting the equipment up, and we didn't notice it and we didn't hear it, but we heard a very, very deep growl and a hiss. And throughout the church as well, there was hissing and growling and like moaning, like disembodied voices or sounds. It's a lovely church, don't get me wrong. It is a really, really nice church and it's great to visit, but there is just, it's haunted. And while we were doing the investigation, there was a lady that came in that was maintaining the church and stuff like that. And she was really interested in what we were doing. So me and Sally told her that we were doing a paranormal investigation. And she says, well, in a way, I'm glad that you're here, because she says, I don't like coming here on my own because of the noises I hear and the sounds I hear. She says, I don't particularly like it. Even though I just brush it off, I don't like it. So we got talking to her and I said, you know, do you think this church is haunted? And she says, absolutely. Now, I did put a picture up on the group, and this could be a case of pareidolia or pareidolia, however you want to call it. But Richard was snapping pictures and I was going through them when we came back home, and I noticed in one of the cabinets that had a cello in it, because it was something to do with the church years ago, there is actually quite a horrible looking face. Now, if you look at the picture, it will look like a clown, but it's just very demonic looking and horrible and not nice. So we did all of that, and then she says, oh, would you like to have a look at the vestry? Now, when you see the pictures of Berkswell Church, and I will be putting them up, you will see that as you're looking at the church face on, you've got like a, it looks like a Tudor building at the top of it. That's the vestry. And that was the schoolmasters, because it used to be a school before it was more turned into a church. And me and Sally, the lady who was maintaining the church, she said, would we like to go and have a look in the vestry? Me and Sally were like, yeah, that would be brilliant if you don't mind. She did kindly ask though that we didn't film it because there was a lot of personal stuff on notices board up there and stuff. So we said that's absolutely fine. And anyway, she says, I'm so glad that you're here because I don't like going in here on my own. And anyway, she opened the door, and by Christ, I don't take his name in vain because he's been helpful really today. Well, not just today, but these last few days, weeks, whatever. It seems like ages. But I'm not taking his name in vain anymore because he's helped and he has answered my prayers, but that's another story. So we went up to the vestry, and as soon as she opened the door, both me and Sally had this massive cold draft. And she said, oh, did you feel that? And we said, yeah. And she says, but the heating's on in here because it's a cold place anyway. So she showed us around the vestry. It was only a small vestry, and in one of the windows, it's looking straight out onto the graveyard. and one of the windows had the name etched into it of one of the schoolboys who unfortunately died. So his name is carved on the window, which is absolutely amazing because you have to look in the real detail for it. But she said, you know, she doesn't like being up here on her own. And she says she doesn't really like coming through the church on her own because it's so scary and spooky. And she will not go down to the crypt. She's like, I just don't go down there. End of. So that was a really good investigation that we did. And we did the grounds as well. Didn't get much off the grounds, but we had enough. But the church itself is definitely haunted. So, what else have we done? We have I've done a lot of research as well because there's a few abandoned ruins that I would like to go to. Obviously, once the money situation sorted and things have settled down, I hopefully, or say me and Sally and Richard, because obviously it's Richard that drives, will hopefully be going down to Edgware Road. And what's the name of the cemetery in London?
Edgware Road Cemetery.
Is it Edgware Road Cemetery? That's meant to be really haunted as well. And of course, the late Amy Winehouse is buried there as well. So is it not Newgate Cemetery? Highgate Cemetery? Highgate Cemetery. So hopefully we will be going there and paying our respects to Amy at Edgware Road and Highgate Cemetery and see what spooky stuff is going on there. Another investigation that I did. Where's that? What was the name of that church that we did that was by Guy's Cliff House?
Old Milton.
Old Milverton, that was it. So I went to Old Milverton and there was a church and graveyard there. And I got some really good responses. Unfortunately, the church was locked, so I couldn't go in. But the grounds were absolutely amazing. And I got some good responses.
Jellyman's buried there.
Jellyman, yeah. For those people who love jelly, the gentleman who invented gelatine, he is laid to rest there. So if you all know where jelly comes from, it's this person, this gentleman who invented it, if you want to call it. Kit wise, you know, we've had a lot of mishaps and equipment failure. Was that paranormal? Has this happened? It did happen on some investigations. So we've had a bit of a blip there, but you know, I just thought I'd jump on here, check in with you guys, make sure you're all okay, you know, and that I haven't seen you for a while or spoke to you for a while. So I thought, right, jump in and say hello. But all in all, you know, at the moment, I will take a step back from not the ghost hunting, but doing the investigations because, like Richard has just said, and it's in the diary as well, that we've got enough videos now to the end of July. And if I do come across something, oh yeah, sure, no, we're fine, lovely. That's all right. Highgate it's really eerie and it's meant to be really haunted. But it's quite a big place. So, you know, that would be really good, you know, if you popped over one day and, you know, we all meet up there and do an investigation there, that'd be brilliant. Also, Birmingham as well, the Jewellery Quarter, there is a cemetery there that's really haunted and they've got catacombs that, you know, you can go and see and visit. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video of Cannock Chase. Like I say, I've got a cat meowing somewhere. She can stay out for a minute. Like I say, that sort of place, I wouldn't say I wouldn't say it's haunted, but was I in the wrong place at the wrong time? I don't know. I really don't know. But it could be haunted, and virtually you can go to these places like hospital, the one that my daughter's in at the moment. Well, Melissa, not my daughter, Melissa. She's my daughter. What am I saying? I don't know. I did actually go down to the basement there. One of the estate people, if they want to call it, that do the general skivvy work at the hospital. Obviously, he was going down to the basement, and cheeky me, I just turned around and said, "Oh, can I have a quick look?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." So, he took me down to the basement, and oh my God, that is a place I need to investigate, because it's it's dark, it's cold, it's spooky, it's full of all, and I don't really like to say this, but they have the dead body transfer coffins thing, the big steel boxes. There's them lined up, there's a few lined up, and it's basically where all the linen go to get collected to be cleaned, and all the bed linen and stuff like that. So it was a really, really creepy place, and I thought I'd love to do that. And hospitals, I would say, are really haunted. Whether in the day, it's probably because there's not many spirits around, because it's all hustle and bustle and busy and everything. But I have been in hospital at times when it has been quiet, and there's only been like the ward and the nurses and people, the odd person walking about, and it is honestly hospitals, I would say, hospitals, care homes, I would say they have got to be one of the most haunted places around, because you think of hospitals over the years of when it first started there, and when we first had the National Health Service to present day, the amount of people that unfortunately have lost their lives. Now, when Melissa was in ITC, intensive care unit, she was still quite poorly, and she was in the bed. Anyway, we were there beside her, and the nurses come up and said, "Oh, we're going to have to close the curtains." And he says, "Yeah, yeah, that's fine." So they closed all the curtains of all the patients in there. But me being me, I was still like, "Oh, I need the toilet." So as I walked out, obviously there was two people pushing this silver coffin, if you want to call it like a hospital, but they call it a rosy bed. Why they call it a rosy bed, I don't know. But anyway, you could hear the clanking. So obviously someone had died, and they were removing them from the ward. But Richard freaked me out last night. He said, "You think the amount of people that have died in that bed that Melissa's in?" And I was like, "I don't want to hear it. I don't." And he's right. There's a point. Just how many people that have died in that hospital bed that Lissy was in, and for any other patients, just you don't know, do you? I mean,
Especially during COVID, because it was
um,
definitely so high.
yeah, that's right. It's like Richard just said, especially during COVID, because obviously we know COVID was a bit of a bastard, and it took quite a lot of people. And in the hospital where Melissa is, there is two pieces. It's like a jigsaw puzzle, but it's resin, and it's got all the pictures on of all the nurses and the doctors and all staff, unfortunately, that lost their lives to COVID. And Birmingham was hit quite bad with it. So, the amount of deaths that have gone on, and it's really quite hard to imagine, but she could be laying in a bed that someone's died in. It just, it won't bother me. I don't mind, as long as I can get my head down and sleep, I don't really care. But, so
You could have 100 people die on that bed.
I could have done, yeah. But yeah, hospitals, obviously are well creepy. I want to start doing more like level crossings and railway crossings, obviously ones that aren't used. Um, but they're another place that, as tragic as it is, you know, the spirits that have probably had accidents or taken their own lives on these level crossings, you know, so that's another thing I want to look into and research. And there is a video on YouTube, and I know it's in America, but there's one particular level crossing. Now, some of you have probably heard about this, that oh, vampire. Highgate has the story of the vampire. I never knew that, Sean. Oh God. I love creepy with lots of myths and legends, but don't it look like something from the Blair Witch game? You've got to admit it does, doesn't it? I'm glad. Yeah, I don't mind mentioning the boys. They'd have a whale of time. The amount of sticks and stones they'd bring back. But thanks for watching it, and I hope you enjoyed it. But anyway, what was I saying? What was I getting on about? I don't know. I've lost track. Yeah, level crossings, and apparently there's a place in America on this one particular level crossing that a bus full of school children unfortunately had a timely death when their bus collided with a train. Now, apparently, and it has been proven, and people have put, you know, the old talcum powder on the back of the cars, the trunks of the cars, as they call it over there. And they've deliberately stored their cars on this level crossing. And apparently, you feel the car being pushed because there's children that will push the cars off this railroad so you don't get hurt. And it's been done. I'll see if I can find it. And obviously, I will actually put a link down so you can see it. But I find that really fascinating. So they've put this one couple, they were very skeptical, and they were thought, like, you know, we'll have a go, we'll just do that. So what they did is they sprinkled the car with talcum powder, and they filmed it, and you see that there was nothing on the back of the car, just this sprinkled of powder. So they got back in the car and they went onto the level crossing and they stalled the car. And basically, it was really, really interesting because she said she could feel the car moving. Anyway, they got across the level crossing, didn't start the car, it was like being pushed. Anyway, they got out. When they had a look at the trunk of the car, there was about 5 sets of handprints. And, you know, it's really fascinating me because obviously the children are there protecting other users. And going on to children, I was going to start doing a lot more investigations in children's areas and trying to communicate with children. Obviously, that hasn't happened because I'm still debating on that one, because I don't want it to be, because everybody thinks, oh, adults, ghosts, and everything, but you've got child spirits as well. And, you know, I think if I try to communicate with a child spirit, you know, I don't know what responses we would get, or would we have adult spirits trying to protect the child spirits? So I could try, but at the moment I haven't really looked into doing children's areas. If children comes through when we do an investigation, that's fine. I've got no problem with that. But at the moment, I think I'm laying off kids, because going back to what I'm saying about Melissa, you know, it was very, very touch and go with her. You know, we could have lost her, and it got to the point there we both were like, right, let's start getting things ready, preparing stuff. And I'm not a religious person, you know, I don't Bible bash. I have my beliefs. I've got my faith, even though I'm going to the Catholic faith, heading towards the Catholic faith. But I spoke to the chaplain of the hospital, and she said at the end of the day, whether you're Christian, Catholic, whether you pray to other religions, it's just all one God at the end of the day. And I never ever had faith, but now I do. And you know, God moves. I'm not giving you a religious talk, so please don't think it's nothing like that. But is there life after death, and is there regard? Because people say, oh, you know, is there such thing? Yes, there is, most definitely, absolutely, 100%. And you know, it's made me believe more. I mean, it's not the fact that I'm going to start going to church on a Sunday, because I can't be doing with all of that. But you know, everybody's got their own religion and faith and beliefs and everything, and I really do strongly believe that there is something there that's out there to protect us and loved ones. And obviously it must be a spirit guide with Melissa, because like I said, it was really touch and go with her, and seeing her on that ventilator and, you know, completely knocked out, sedated. Apparently she could hear us, but obviously she just couldn't communicate with us. But hopefully she's all on the mend. I am going to go and see her tomorrow. Ree is really excited, and I can spend quite a lot of time with Liz tomorrow, because Rianne is oh, hang people. Really, it does look very, it's a horrible one. Yeah, some crossroads were. They did used to hang people at crossroads. Yeah. Clever thinking. Thanks, honey. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Oh, you're so clever. Yeah, they did used to hang people on crossroads. That's right. Yeah. I don't know if there's any around by us, or if there's any around by you, lovely, that could, you know, have happened. But yeah, I never thought of that. That's a good point. And would bury suicide. Yeah. So maybe, yeah, because if it, there is one, allegedly she's meant to be a witch, and I think it's in Wales or something, but apparently she's buried at a crossroads because she curses people, or she cursed people, and they buried her on this crossroads because it would confuse her of which way to go, left or right. So, you know, yeah, that's really good. Thank you for that, honey. Much appreciated. Thank you. But yeah, like I say, with Melissa, going back to Melissa, you know, it was really touch and go. But I do have faith now, you know, and I do believe that we are all protected by some sort of spirit guide or angels, or, you know, there is definitely, most definitely, life after death now. End of. And there is spirits, and there is places of paranormal that's, you know, worth investigating. But at the moment, like I said, I've got a lot of videos coming up. This is the little red book of the videos. Next week is a cemetery in Warwick, and that, again, that got to me. The spirits that were coming through and talking to me, I ended up in tears because they really did get to me. And I think it was a particular spirit. She was only 15 when she died. And I think I had communication with her. And honestly, when you see it go up on Saturday, you will see it got to me. And I also have done a cemetery as well with German soldiers. And that's another one, because Richard had to step in on that one. He had to come in and say, look, enough's enough now, Joe. You know, it's getting to you. Enough's enough. So, yeah. So, all in all, that is, I've never actually thought maybe it's something we could search together about, honey, about crossroads, and like they used to hang people. That would be worth looking at. I'll do some research on that. You know, it's, yeah. If you have got any, I'm sure you have got, well, you've got myths and legends down by you anyway, Sean, haven't you? Because you've got pirate caves or something, isn't it? And you've got woods like that, because Cornwall was a mining town and stuff like that, weren't it? Yeah, so That'd be really good. So yeah, and it does look Blair Witchy. It does really, really do. And I would go back to Cannock Chase. Will I go back to Cannock Chase?
Nah.
Nah. I just think, okay, if someone out there can prove me wrong and say, yes, it's definitely haunted, if they say, right, I am going to take you to Cannock Chase and I am going to put you in this specific area and let you do an investigation, then you tell me what you think. But I think personally, I don't think it's haunted, or it probably is haunted, but not that haunted that people make out, because, it's very, what's the word? Monotonous or something like that. There's loads of people doing it. They go in there virtually every time. Go to Cannock Chase, go to Cannock Chase. Personally, just my opinion, was I in the wrong place? I don't know. Was I at the wrong time? I don't know. But if there's only spirits in one particular area, then they must be really grounded to them, because it's a massive place. Gallows Hill, Hertfordshire. That's not Hertfordshire is not too far from us, is it?
Quite a distance.
Oh, is it quite a distance? Okay. I just crack the whip and Richard just takes me. Yeah, we have got a tree up by a place called Gibbet Roundabout. And I know they used to hang beggars and burglars and thieves and stuff like that there. But nothing's really come about of that. Yeah, because centuries ago, years ago, whatever. Yeah, hanging on trees. Yeah, you see it in Tudor times and you see it on the internet. Ree's decorated my cup with stickers. Look, she's put loads of stickers from Halloween on it. She's a bugger. But yeah, so more adventures to come with the Boo Crew. Obviously Sally will be doing more, and so on. But definitely I will look at level crossings and hanging trees. Thank you so much for that, Sean. And I'll look into the vampire grave as well at Highgate. That'd be interesting to look into. So like I said, it was only a short video. Yeah, because I like my Ouija boards, everything. It's brilliant. I like it. Anything like that. Anything spooky, I'm all into that. I did ask Ree for a cup of tea, but she's given me some orange squash, which is all right. I don't mind. But yeah, so we'll be looking into doing more investigations within that. But yeah, lots more adventures now the weather's nice. And so on. So yeah, so I won't keep you then, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Lovely to catch up with you all. Thank you to everyone who has wished us, even though I did put a post on. Thank you for all that have wished us well with Melissa. She's okay. I will keep you posted. I will keep you updated. But the other day, I didn't really want to go out and do an investigation. But obviously, me troublemaker sis, we went out and we had a laugh and we got some great responses. I'm so glad that we did. Oh, excuse me. So on that note then, I shall call it. Like I say, thanks for joining me. Thank you, Sean. Hope all is well. Love to the boys and you and your mum and your family and that love. And tell your dad happy Father's Day, even though I don't really know him, but say happy Father's Day from me. And say hi to mum for me, because your mum's awesome. Well, all your family are awesome, and I love the boys. They're brilliant. So yeah, so we'll call it quits then. So on that note, like I say, thanks for joining me, and hopefully I will catch in with you again very soon with lots of new investigations, lots of new places, any places that you think we could investigate, please drop me a DM or message me or even meet me there or something. It's absolutely brilliant. So, yeah, until the next time, as always, I'm not an investigation, so I won't say it's goodbye from Richard and it's goodbye from me. But as the norm, stay safe, happy hunting, and I will catch you all on the next adventure and or next live. So yeah, enjoy your Sunday. May it be chilled out and relaxed. And I will check in with you again soon. Mwah. Right. Bye. Bye, darling. Bye.
I'm just pissing about, right? And you say it's just over